Heirs of Anarwyn, Undead, by J.W. Eliot. Copyright 2022 by J.W. Eliot. Narrated by Joseph Tweedale. Prologue. Flesh and Stone. Lorna raced against death, knowing she would probably lose. She leaned over the mare's neck and hissed in her ear. The wind whipped at her hair, and the prairie grasses stung her legs as the horse's hooves pounded the earth. The sick knot in her stomach tightened. Barden had not been satisfied with murdering their father and riding through the gates of Torwyn with his head on a pike. Now he was after their brother, Maelorn. She had to stop him. The sun sank into the western horizon as the aroma of parched grass mingled with the sharp tang of earth and horse musk. Sweat matted her hair and slid down her neck. The rolling prairie stretched on forever. Its vast emptiness filled her with a peculiar dread. What if she didn't reach them in time? What if she found them both dead? No, that couldn't happen. She wouldn't let it. Kicking her horse to greater speed, she gave her more rein. Her whole life converged on this one moment, this last desperate ride to save what was left of her family. The horse broke the crest of the hill and sped up as she dropped over the rise. Maelorn and Tara strode toward each other, under the shadow of the lone tree with their servants and guards waiting at a respectful distance, holding the reins of their horses. Lorna stood in the stirrups. "No!" she shouted, but the wind swallowed her cry. Her horse's hooves thundered on the earth. "Wait!" she called again. "Don't! Please!" Her voice broke as Maelorn and Tara embraced. A wave of energy burst over the prairie, flattening the grasses. Their attendants tumbled to the earth, and their horses shied and galloped away. A translucent black bubble enveloped Maelorn and Tara, pulsing with the strange, perverted energy of the Bragamahr. A sob tore from Lorna's throat. What had Barden done? Had he betrayed everything he once loved? She had to do something. Anything. Mentally forging a dyad with the sapphire and the malachite in the pendant she wore around her neck, she raised her hand. The crystal-green column of energy leapt across the 100 paces between her and the expanding black sphere. A crack, louder than any known thunder, snapped through the air. A flood of energy rippled through the earth, followed by a blast of hot wind, tearing branches and leaves from the lone tree, and kicking up dust and debris into a boiling cloud. Lorna clung to her horse as the wind rushed back, and the earth buckled beneath the mare's feet. The horse stumbled. Lorna reeled in the saddle as her horse tripped, throwing her onto the broken ground. She lay there trembling, too weak and scared to move until the wind subsided and the dust settled. An eerie, otherworldly silence settled over the little valley. No birds sang, no crickets chirped. Nothing. She lifted her head with enormous effort, terrified she might find Maelorn and Tara's bodies broken and bleeding on the dry prairie. What she saw sent a pang of horror burning through her chest. "No!" Lorna choked. Tears sprang to her eyes as she struggled to her knees. A perfect circle of bare earth had been scoured of every living thing within 20 paces of the tree. In the centre now loomed a marble statue of the loveliest clear crystal and black obsidian. Maelorn and Tara had enfolded each other in an eternal embrace of solid stone, expressions of pain frozen onto their faces. Lorna rose and staggered to them, ignoring the cries of the servants and guards. What had she done? She hadn't saved them. Laying a hand on the stone, she reached out with the power of the Anarwyn. An angry surge of energy shoved her back, and she understood. In that fleeting moment of contact, she sensed that Maelorn and Tara were alive, trapped within the stone. A sob escaped her. In desperation, she drew on the healing power of the agate and sent its energy into the stone. It was thrown back in her face. Growing despondent, she tried every dyad ever used by the Varana, and even some deemed so dangerous she could barely control them. Nothing worked. The cold, silent stone repelled every attempt to undo what she had done. Exhausted and heartbroken, Lorna fell at her brother's feet and wept. In her attempt to save them from being killed by Barden, she had done something infinitely worse. She had sealed them eternally in tombs of solid stone.